my daily review. I'm going to show what I did so that I can remember and post it online. This is beautiful. This is a confirmation because I'm realizing that apart from CST, so ACS is a type 1, but I think I like type 2 whereby it's a CSD and a toolbar confirmation. So this would be on this stop and a close here. This is 10 points, but 2 entries 20, and that is lovely, but I didn't take that. And we'll do a daily review of what has happened today and what I was thinking about it all. So that is lovely. So what did I do today? We'll start from GJ. So for GJ, I was looking at the fact that, because I'm also trying to look at just the hourly chart, right? And I'll show you what I did that I didn't like, but it's about just new beginnings and understanding of price. So when I came, I'm trying to look for just big displacements, and I'm trying to buy them. I'm seeing this. So if this is an expansion, this is the whole B, we confirm this. So I'm thinking if we are going to bounce this, I don't want us to close. Sorry, let's delete this. I would be looking to buy here. I wouldn't like, because we've closed this. I wouldn't like us to close that. I wouldn't like this. So I do not want to close. Lose confidence in longs. Not that longs are invalid, but so normally, because first FEG, second FEG, the stop is minimum supposed to be here or there, minimum, and the final target would be here, right? So what am I doing? Saying is this is like this is a bearish expansion, right? So if this is a bearish expansion, let's remove this. So we're using our house to signify our order blocks henceforth, so we can make this into this. So this is an hour. We confirmed this, so we also have to maybe dashed lines would mean a two-bar close. So I can just put this and write two-bar, and this would be in the center, in the middle. This will be a little bit bigger, and let's use a neutral color blue. And yes, so we can save this as I don't know if I don't know what this was. Wait a minute, let me see what this two-bar was, because I see a two-bar. You see, I'm saying two-bar confirmed. No, because sometimes I will still leave that. So this would be okay. Let's do this, and let's say this, and let's change it to style will be dashed lines, and then we'll save it as two-bar confirmed. Okay, and then this we'll save it as two-bar. Okay, so we have two buys confirmed. This buy. Why? Because this is also an expansion, right? So we have and then we have this OB. So closing below this OB, consent price down, but we would see how price behaves then. So coming back to what I did today on my this is 5 minutes. I came into the chart, I saw this expansion, price was going up, of course, reversal trader. I was thinking, okay, what's the next thing? This is going up already. All this, nothing special, because if I turn this day, this week on, so this is the one hour, of course, do this turn on. Okay, it's loading. This was Monday, so on Monday, we only ran in one direction. So nothing interesting. Of course, all of this this is not an expansion. I was like bullish expansion, all right. And then actually this should be here now. So, and then I was like, okay, this is an expansion. We can delete this. This will have been the OB, right? And for the OB, of course, it was confirmed, but you would see why. Of course, this would have been a loss because this was at 4. But I was asleep at that. Also, this is Asia. Close again. This is this, this another. Of course, this expansion here did not need. So this was also why it was interesting. This expansion is also an expansion. Maybe we can have bullish expansion. Type 2. And we can save it as bullish expansion type 2. So, and like I said, I want our expansions to have a close. So I think this is still a working theory that even if it's this and it's a CSD, so what I'm trying to say is that if my hobby is if my hobby is part of a bullish expansion of a type 2, don't sell this. This is the trade. Of course, it worked today because I was asleep, but maybe like I would rather this slow and confirmed. So we can note this that maybe it was part of bullish expansion. So should have required not on CSD. So not only CSD. All right. So CSD. I think when I was up, it was around here. When I came to chat, I saw this, and then I put a limit. I think I sold somewhere and then a limit there. And of course, this is the trade. And so too bad needed, of course, you see, not there, yeah. So, and that was that, and it here. Of course, why did I say factor was that I was also looking at this because I was afraid, because this is also an expansion and this was here. So when this happened, I sold when this was retracing. So we can do this. We need this. Oh, that is right side of this. So this has an FEG in it. So this is a bullish expansion, and type 2 would always have the reference. So OB, close, TP1, this should have been just a TP1 and leave the rest to its TP2, which will have hit by now. So at this time, I have to change this for the channel and come to KFC orders because I had it down already and GJ and change it. And we'll come back and close this. So that was GJ for today. And then for NAS was very interesting. So I think we have, I saw this on the 1 hour and I will show, of course I didn't take it, but just tracking it. And I'm trying to see if these are, okay, this is 1 minute, we'll come back to that. Of course we don't need to, we can do this and see. So on the 5 minutes, this is from yesterday, so remove all of this. Wait, that was a lot. Okay, now remove everything and we turn this on so that will show us when we start trading at 8 o'clock. So this was there, we'll turn this off, we'll turn this off, and then on the 5 minutes, so we start with the 5 minutes first. So what, so far until this time, that is all that matters. So before this, at 8 o'clock, I was, of course, there was a 1 minute trade here. Why? Because this, I think I was tracking this already. And what is it? Was it? I think I started with a sell, not a buy. Yes, today was a sell. So there was that. And then we have this. This is why I'm making these videos now instead of just screenshots, so as to remind myself of what I did. So there was this bullish expansion, and so we have the OB, right? But then this guy here needed this, so we needed a 2-bar. The 2-bar was needed. We had our CSD here on this OB, so we can just for the sake, so as to make things easier for me to remember, I would put, yeah, please, okay, and we'll try this here and we'll save it. Cool. So there was an OB here, we confirmed it, but this was our trade, this was when we confirmed it. So I was tracking this, I saw this too, because this is valid, and this will explain why, but this is 5 minutes, and this is 5 minutes one time frame, because it might change later in the future, but keeping it real, 5 minutes. So I was like, okay, this OB was confirmed, and I was like, okay, yeah, some people sold here. I saw this. I'll show you what I did on the 1 minute here too, but for now, let's wait. So this is M5, of course. So when this happened, before market open, I was a little concerned because I didn't want this to happen. And then I saw this. Of course, stops was higher. No stop loss, of course, but when I saw this, I was like, that's 40 points against, because this would be the total invalidation. Why? There was a bag here, but I was thinking price can go deeper. Then I was thinking, and that's why I was on the M1. Was there a structure, since I trade two things, was there a structured bearish expansion that I should be worried about, and so my stop wasn't there. So this was the first entry, and then I was like, okay, put this above here on the 1 minute. So just about 20, 30, and I was like, of course, this would go off here. When I saw 16, I was like, all right, 20, you should get 20 points easily. Additionally, I was also looking at this expansion here that was not needed. So I was thinking, if we close it, we might get a price back down. So very interesting how this 5 minutes printed if we went up, came down because of this here. So after this is it, or did it just go down, come up and took your stop loss? So I want to see that later. But so I was thinking like, okay, on this, and then when this was happening, on the 1 minute, there was a beautiful entry there, I think for a regular bag. And so somewhere there, I did another entry, and this one was lower. This was lower, even though I think in my chart I said I closed it somewhere here. It was lower, and so overall, I think I closed this for 30 something. I think I closed it either here when this was moving, and I closed it. Of course, this would later happen and down, but I remember I closed it for either 35 or something here. So this was the trade, and that was on the 5 minutes already. So this is a lovely trade on the 5 minutes. And I closed the chart, and then I came back and I saw that, okay, we have this expansion for some reasons, which I have to look carefully on the MT5 feed that I was on. This looks lower. This was lower, but it was later on I looked at it didn't close below. I thought this closed below, so I bought this as a type 1. But looking at this chart, since it didn't close below, this entry was not valid. And I could have lost, and I thought I lost, and then you'll be very angry because you aren't paying attention to the charts. What else? Was there anything else? Yes, there was. So on the M5, we also had this. So this was a bearish expansion and a bearish expansion that ended here. Bearish expansion. And this top candle was an OB, right? And then in this instance, this candle here was an OB, but it was not part of anything. It was just a regular OB. And so OB. Alright. So I was tracking this. When I saw this, of course, I bought into this. I closed this here. But now I see why that was not valid. But in this instance, let's just track this bearish, because this bearish, but this is on the demo, of course. This confirmed this OB. Why? This is just a regular OB. So I bought this once it's closed. I was looking at this type 2 expansion. So this was a type 2 expansion. And I was like, okay, close below this invalidates any long setup. So invalidation. And then I was like, all right, buy. Of course, I set the stop loss, so that would be a 2-bar confirmation. So I put it down with little, and I was like, all right, we are closing here, and for 20 points, so I'll just put it up like 20 minimum on this. Of course, this it here, bought it again here, Why did I buy it again? Because this it, so this it, but then we have this second OB, a 2-bar OB confirmed here, right? So we said because this OB, this one here is an of course we can say the expansion started here too, depending on how you're depending on how you're viewing this. So expansion ended here, expansion started there, depending, it depends on how you say. So this happened, and I was like, all right, this is an OB for this one. So if it's an OB for this guy, this OB was just this regular one, so this one. And after that, this second OB for this, because I was bullish now, I was like, all right, we need to close this 2-bar. So a 2-bar confirmation, we need this 2-bar confirmation. We did this here, came back into this OB, but same principle, I was tracking it. I didn't want to put my stop loss here because this is just exactly here. So I was like, same thing, crash into this, and for this one, I had 30. Oh yeah, 30. I said 30 on this, either 30 or 35, because there was a trade I was tracking and I wanted more, so I said 30 or 35. I can't remember. I was at 30 points. It's like tap into it, buy, or I bought here and I closed here. I can't remember how I did, but either which way, either I think, or maybe it was the 10 because there was one okay, I think it was the 17 something. Either which way, doesn't matter. 20 points doesn't matter. It's just about the idea. And I was like, all right, done. Nothing more. Normal expansion, need a 2-bar, no 2-bar. Expansion, this, we are, so in this one, if we are tracking this, we need a C2-bar. This closes, where is the OB? This guy. So we've confirmed our OB. We didn't have this, it would have been lovely if this had closed, excuse me, had closed here. We'll have sold here and be targeting this no pants. I'm sure on the 5 minute there is something. So as far as 5 minutes goes, you started early, your trade was here, so this 50 points here, yeah, I close, I think this on 30, I can't, doesn't matter. Tracking this because of this, of course, based on how I was looking at the charts before, we came there, okay, I might have lost this if I wasn't careful, look at the charts very well next time, but patiently tracking this is why I like about 5 minutes. It gives you enough time, for all that thing. So this was the M5, and in total we have, let's say, 40, 60 points, 80 points, let's just say 100 points there. So we would save this later, and we are tracking this now. If it closes, we're saying close here, come back here, sell here. So we'll see how it goes. M5. So yeah. Oh, okay, I've closed the other journal, so it doesn't matter now. M1. I want to use this because I already have things on it, but this is a review, so let's go to M1 and look for. I don't like things like this because it's like you miss out on information because on my chart there is no gap. So remove everything. We turn this back on to make us see where we start our chart from. So Chish was shorting this pre. For me, I still use normal Chicago time, so I don't really I'm not overthinking it. So he had sold this is indicator. I told him to get out, so he had gotten out. But for me, I was tracking this. So remember on the 5 minutes that we were saying, we saw that this expansion. So all this was on the 5 minutes. This was there. So, but let's say you're tracking 5 minutes. This is what I was saying. So earlier, this is a bearish expansion. This closed through it. So my first shot, bearish M1 and bearish M1. It's actually faster. And so in this instance, there was this bag, and I was thinking, I was like, yeah, it closed through, but for some reasons, okay, I know why. So there was this bag, so I wanted to sell because that was going back to the M1, but it invalidated it by closing here above. That was very annoying. Wrong. Invalidation. And then I was like, wait a minute, we also have this expansion that ended here. So M1 bullish expansion, we had an OB there. So that was this OB. And I was like, all right, we've had this OB, market was going to open later, and this happened before market open, yes. And so I was like, okay, OB confirmed for this expansion. I want to sell into 5 minutes. We're already inside the 5 minutes that we saw previously. I was like, you know what? This is worth it. Why? This, I was also tracking this type 2 here. I was also tracking this type 2. Or was it type? No, I was also tracking this. So I saw this, it's a type 1. And I was like, okay, this is its OB. Let's stay with this. This is its OB. So if this is its OB, it closed it here, but we've not had a 2 bar here. So I was like, all right, let's keep tracking. If my stop in this instance was very small and it was above, there was a bag here. So I was like, there's a bag here, and put it above just that week, but keep tracking this guy. So keep tracking this 2 bar. Close, once you close above this 2 bar, just puke everything. This was 16 or more, this was 17, I remember. So this was a target, and I think I was targeting something down. One entry was here and the other entry closed. Look, this was sudden, poof, and then I closed the other one there. So this was how I played this trade. And let's just look for more trades here. This is a bearish expansion. This is the OB. Right, so we'll just put this here. OB was what? Wrong. Yes, exactly. OB. So OB. OB is also part of a regular type 2 expansion, right? So type 2 expansion, we closed it here. I believe I bought this and I bought it up. But I'm not going to indicate it because for this, we need this to close. We need a 2 bar. Coming back here into this OB. Once this close, this will be a loss. So that is not a problem. We lost that trade. And so we put this here. And when you were going up, this was also an expansion, a type 1. So bullish type 2 rather. The CST here came back here. I saw fish. Closed some here. I think I expanded it. It was lower. I closed it for 20. And then this happened because it's also what is the thing with 1 minute is that there's a lot of stuff. You have to be very fast and pay attention. And I was like, okay, on this is also a confirmation. Solve this. Why? This was still less than 20 points, and I wanted this. I really wanted this. So adding an extra one. The eye is also, I think, invalidation will have been there or close above here. And I believe I expanded this to 20 points. So this was why I played it. This was on 20 points, which was below. I was like, they could weak it. And then I changed this to this. So it was like that. $58 was like, give me this. This is a lower entry. This is 20 points. I'll close it at this. And that was the end of that one. What was the next thing? This. So don't forget this expansion. OB already lost, no problem. And then I came to the chart. I saw this again because I was looking at this OB, this very big one, and I was thinking on the 5 minute. I think maybe that's where my mistake might have come in, where I thought it closed below. I don't know, for some reason, because I remember using this guy and closing it out here. So it's strange that I'm looking at this chart now and this guy is not closing below it, but it is what it is. And price came back. Okay, now I see what I was looking for. So this was here, another M1 bearish expansion. Where's its OB? This is its OB, right? This expansion. I have to find a way of connecting these guys so that we would know. So this is its OB. All right, this is its OB. We closed above it, but we've not done a 2-bar, which was confirmed there. So 2-bar. We have to reduce this 2-bar because it's a 2-bar and it's also a CST. So I wonder the front. So 2-bar that was there, and yes. So this confirmed there. What do I have to do? We have to buy. I believe I FOMO there. And I wanted higher prices. I think I wanted this, so this came back against me. I was holding it, added more here. Added limit here, of course, as anybody will be jumping out to, a back. So that was a nice one to come back to, but came back here, bought one here because up here and TP was here. And once I saw this CST happen, added massively. While this was building, added here again. After that CST, massively, and Elvis for 100 points. This was for 100. It was a little lower, but just for 100. I don't know why I wanted 100, but This is all recorded. All these trades are recorded. And what else did I do inside this place? So because this is a daily journal to share with people if anybody wants. This was another M1 bullish expansion. We closed it, order block, last candle. So it's a 2-bar. We came back here, sold this, but I was there because I had seen this fall. I'd not have missed it. That's why I added more than 2 positions here, I think 3, to cover any losses. So I believed in this, that we could go high. But then I was thinking, okay, this is the invalidation here of this expansion. Close above it 15 points. All right. I think I even added maybe one more. I was like, buy something to go up. Buy something to go up. So bought, and I was tracking like, if this falls, all right, I'll take this one. I would, because I was thinking this expansion, this bearish expansion, it has an FEG in it, so it needs an OB if I was going to buy. So price, this guy could calm down, and we could still form a bearish expand. We could still form an OB and before we go up. So sell it, and if it fails, cover here my losses. Yes, I hedged on 1 minute. So this loss, and I was like, no problem. Immediately lost. I closed the trade. I closed one of the trade, and so I saw that I FOMO'd here. I set that FOMO before this one pointed here. I set this TP here. I bought maybe something inside this here. I'm really managed it poorly, but I closed them all here. Why? Such I didn't want to hold more because I've added lots of positions. So by the time this was going there, and I think I bought while this was forming after this, and then by the time I closed either 1 or 2 positions, it has covered all the losses I've incurred from this FOMO and from anyone here. And then I was like, all right, we are balanced. I could take this, and I was already adjusting, like, okay, if anything happens, manage it aggressively. Also, how would I know when to close this long? This was an expansion with an FEG, so OP, I was like, it closed below this while all this was dancing, and it was just like, just don't close. If you close below this, close everything, close all the longs, because this is an OB. Price will be coming here, or could come there. I don't know if it will. And so rather close and save something. And if this loses us 15 points, and these other entries, even the as a minute here, and let's say it closes here at 17 points, and they were I think 2 year and like 22 years. So it was enough. Like I was like, yeah, that's already more than enough. So we continue. Nothing happened. Aggressive. Maybe this will have, lost now. Aggressive, close below. So type 2, close below, come back here, close here. So that's 15 points. That's a good trade. So this will have been a very lovely trade. But I don't know if I would take it, because actually I did not. I was just on the 5 minutes after. I just left this and I was trading on the 5 minutes. Because if you say you took this, then you have to take this. When this was confirming, then I might have even held. I might have said, okay, I'm going for more, and this will have gone against me. So I don't know on the lower 16. So here also, FEG, we need this, so ignore that. Bearish, nothing, ignore that. Ignore, nothing special. FEG, close, nothing. Up. FEG, no, actually, this is just, yeah, okay, this, close this. For this one, need a close here. Once that happens, will it have come back here? No, but it was just within 3 points. So maybe you could have sold there, I don't know. This expansion FUG, so coming back here, something to close, expansion ended here, so this guy, OB, but then we would need this here, so sell here, get out there, so this, yeah, 18, maybe now you hold because of this guy, but like I said, maybe the ones below, not up, but nothing too crazy here that really guarantees madness. But I think I was showing this when I first saw the trade expansion. If you're so bullish, this wouldn't take you out. Of course, you're not using any stop, so a close below this would be, but it should not, I wouldn't also be here because a close below this also would not have been good. From here to here, I didn't see it at the time, would have been to the stop 8 points, not really worth it. So, and now price is selling. Maybe there's something on the 5 minute. Maybe there are all this other stuff. For example, this is here that didn't come back up. So this is here. So this is how you track. That was an M1 bullish. We needed OB. We need Tuba. Oh my god, what a beauty. This confirms it. Sell the OB. This is also an OB for this bearish expansion. So OB for this bearish expansion. This needs a Tuba. So Tuba, OB, nothing is done. Don't close above this. Sorry, don't close above this guy. And don't close here. Early exit. 23 points. Of course, you have to have more than one entry. I usually believe that is better. More than one entry. So you've closed at 20 points. And now we're just tracking. I'll delete this. Very interesting stuff. So you've already seen 22. Don't forget, this is also a Gandalf's, of course. And yeah, so this is also valid here. So old expansion, new expansion, FUG. So price can reverse and go up. Yeah, is what I'm saying in this bag, because this is a wonderful bag. But if it continues, let's not forget this Tuba is also an OB for this guy. So this guy, we can delete this and say OB and drag it back here, so we know that we are saying that is an order block for this guy. So it's confirming it closed below. We like this. So this I would have also sold here. I would have, because I'll be tracking too. I like this kind of expansion, especially this. I like them because your invalidation is quick. And now this may be up here. Definitely this would be this. Of course, I'll be very happy with the fact that there's no pants, and now I'll be very tempted to push this down. So technically this high, because it's an higher price, would be here, and then I'll push this here, or even at 20. I'm out, definitely out of this one now, because this would be maybe one entry or two, and this would be much more. I'm out here, definitely out. If not, but definitely out here. This would be it. So let's just 20, and then this can be pushed down at B, or let's say it's 3 entries, 2 entries are gone, or 1 entry is definitely gone. 1 is at B, 1 is left here for the invalidation. And I'm tracking this. Why? Excuse me. Expansion. Bearish. OB. Tuba. OB. So if I see any close there, I'll collapse everything. Consider the kind of day. So you assuming you're taking all this, is like on this trade alone, it's just 100 because of some reason. But even if you didn't close there and you entered and you even closed there, that was a lot of 50 points, 50, 17, 5, 30, 40, 42, 42 plus another 38, so 40, 80 points, 50 minimum, another 40, yeah, so 80, 120. I took this for 100. 220 took this loss. Let's say it was 1 entry, but let's assume it was 2 entries because we covered, but we didn't. Let's just assume it's 120. So under 20, that's 200 points. 240. And now this has reached. It's like, come on, almost over 250 points for the day. This has closed. So even by the time this ends, 16 points. Why not? And that is without considering everything on top. So yeah. Yes, so that's it. That's my review for the day. No, and this is yeah, this will be interesting. We can slap this on this and see how it goes, because you see, bag doing its job. This is what, but I would not close this. I would not close this trade until this closes. This has to close. It doesn't even matter if it reaches here, because there are days where to do this and then dumps. So you take some wins, you take some losses. It's just, you mix it up and it goes on and on and on like that. So now I'm just waiting. And if this was a trade, I'm not taking it. This is just to show myself. And this is because that is valid. Of course, it's not here. I just put there because this is the invalidation of this bag. And now close the trade. So this last trade will have been closed here for 14 points. It's okay. If I have 2 entries, close one is definitely a B. I will not be very happy with myself for doing that, but I have to be thinking maybe we are because I have not seen the 5 minutes and things like this. And also this, so this is part of the trick. This is a type 1 expansion. So I'm thinking, close this, I'm holding my other one. Sometimes I can even add, but is it worth it? 12 points? No, I don't want to lose anything. Or maybe I would, but I'm not happy with this. So these are the part of times I'm thinking, which one takes precedent, this or this? Of course, in my mind, if we close here, I prefer the long. Why? It's in a bag. I trust the bag. This, let's look at it just for a minute, because so let's say you're selling, because you are allowed to hedge. Where is this? You cannot close above this. So if I tap this into this, as I'm buying it, I'm adding more. I already have a position going on for this regular one. I want to go up, but of course would close something here at 17, or maybe I'll put it at 18. So I've added an extra position to cover this loss because I'm hedging. I'm okay with it. this doesn't go off when this hits here. No. So there's a long going on. This short is going on. So there's an extra position that you entered here for it. So let's say because this was slow, you see this has not closed. Now all of a sudden I'm waiting. I'm still holding this. I'm still holding that. This is going up here. So there's this one here. We'll delete this. And then there is an edge for this guy. Where's this edge? This edge is further down because it's 12 point, but now I'm managing it. That is why I would not have closed, because I would not use this. I do not mind. It's okay. You can go against me. That's not a problem. It has to close. If this wins, it only covers itself. And this goes off. This little entry would be maybe down here, depending on where the full TP of this guy is. So I should not be in this shot actually. I shouldn't. So if I'm in it because it's less than, maybe I can just go to 10 points, 2 entries 20, and then 2 entries on these two 20. So what is the point being in this shot if I'm hedging it and it's for sale? No point. So, and this is also why it is good. Maybe someone will say, oh, I'll have closed this and I'll have been holding this. I don't know what will have happened. So sometimes I do so, but I still believe in this. Why? Taps it. This was a 2-bar entry into it. We closed here, so we'll see. It's under 51 minutes. That's a lot of time I could have used to do something else, but we have to do this review. All right, so, and like I said, you have to confirm what is happening on the higher time frame. You see, on the higher time frame, this should have been annoying because this on the 5 minutes, this was a OB got confirmed, but we had not. Okay, I remember this. So, but it is what it is. We just continue. So, price also buying back to this, but yeah, so that would be a loss and a break even trade, and I just paid my broker more money, so not valid. But if you close above this 2-bar, buy aggressively here too. Aggressive, and it has nothing to do with covering this position because this is a bag. Allow this rejection. My entry criteria is a 2-bar. I'm not buying yet. It's just an entry criteria. Buy. We should expand out. My final target would be first year, minimum year. So we didn't close above this. No entry, just waiting. So thank you so much, and have a fun one. Bye.